Hi everybody, it's Jackie Schomburg-Abstract. Today I want to talk about overwhelm. I don't know if any of you can relate. I'm sure that some of you can, but I don't even know. I don't know. I feel so overwhelmed, and whenever I come into my art room, I get more overwhelmed right now because it is a mess in here. I don't mean like when you invite a new friend over and you've got like 3 things on your coffee table and you say, "Oh, I'm so sorry about the mess." This is legitimately, it looks like it's a storage room. It's very well hidden on here, but there's just stuff. It's just stuff stacked and it's oppressive. So I wanted to make a video. I'm a little late because of this issue. And I finally thought, this is ridiculous. I'm sure I'm not alone. So I'm gonna clear off my desk. I'm going to show you what I'm gonna do to make art, to lower the bar, to lower the stakes, to make it as easy as possible for myself to just create something. Even when things feel completely uncontrollable, there's a way to help yourself create something. So if you're like me and creating something will help my mental health and help me find peace, I want to be able to show you how to do that as well. So let's do it. Today is a trust exercise. I'm trusting that you guys are not going to shame me endlessly for the state of my desk. It has become a catch-all just to hold all the things that relate to art, things that relate to collage, things that relate to all other areas of life. That yellow in the bottom corner looks kind of like a mustard, if I'm going to be honest. And I was like, what is that? So I can assure you it's paint. That one does belong in this room. I have been wanting to get in here and make some art. And every time I walk in, I almost instantly turn around and walk out because there's so much stuff in this room that organization is not my strength, but also I'm usually not this bad. So I realize that this is silly because the desk part is not that bad. It's not pretty, but I can clear off my desk. It's maintaining a system of keeping things clean and putting things away and all the other things I just don't have time to do or don't take the time to do during the day because I'm tired. So to everyone looking at this thinking, oh my goodness, she should just put things away after she uses them. I know I'm supposed to do that. I fully appreciate that and logically know that that's exactly what I have to do. And I have not been able to do that. And I'm deciding that that's okay. I am telling myself that's okay, but also that's where I am right now. I know that I wish I was in a place where I could do all the things and have all the things look tidy after I was done doing those things. Today is not that day. And I want to be real because I think that I'm sure that I'm not alone in this. So for all of you who cannot get everything to be tidy and neat and orderly, I want to bring you reassurance that you're not alone and a reminder that this entire desk cleanup, despite the fact that every other time I've walked in here, I thought, oh, it's too much work to clean up the desk and do art, it took me 12 minutes. This video is sped up. I did it double time. So 6 minutes on the time lapse here, but 12 minutes. I can take 12 minutes to clean my desk up next time. I can. So it's okay to start where you are. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to clean the desk to start, but you can make art under these circumstances as well. I could have just shoved things off to the side and worked on my small sketchbook there. But I knew that I really wanted to literally show you guys how to clear out some of the clutter to make a space that you can feel free to create. It doesn't actually take that long. Like most of the tasks that we dread and put off indefinitely, many of them can be overcome quickly. I want to remind you that the messiness or the cleanliness of your home, of your desk, of your art room, of your car is not a moral situation. It does not define you as a good person or a bad person. You're not bad if you're messy. You're not good if you're clean, right? These things we often internalize, and I say we, I mean me. I don't want to say always, I often think, oh my gosh, if I had my act together, my desk would be cleaner, my home would be tidier, blah, 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 blah. It's really okay. We can't do it all. I think I should be able to do all the things. We cannot, as singular, independent people, do every single thing all the time and do it all really super well. So, whatever your strengths are, yay for your strengths. If cleaning and tidying is one of them, amazing. Please come over and help me. And if it's not, that's okay. You have other strengths. So, let's all take a deep breath. Let's relax. And let me show you how to create and take care of yourself even when you're overwhelmed. I knew I wanted to make something and I wanted to keep the bar super low. So I'm clearing off my desk, keeping the bar super low. So I wanted to make something small. I wanted to make it completely doable. This is important. If you're overwhelmed, please don't get out a 4 foot by 4 foot canvas and decide you're going to make a museum quality painting. That will not help you. I'm sure I've tried it and it did not help. Make something extremely accessible. So I have a grid journal, free grid journal guide that you are welcome to. It has templates pre-made for you. Cannot get easier to do a grid journal. You just print it out, add some colors, whatever you want, and go for it. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. But make something small. Small is great. Even if you're used to painting large, I'd encourage you to try something small when you're overwhelmed because you can fill an entire tiny sketchbook in a very short amount of time. And you can make it quite, you can put a lot of depth in there too, which you would not expect. I did not expect from a tiny sketchbook. Look at that fresh, clean layer of butcher paper. I've got my teeny tiny 4-inch sketchbook. This is the same travel sketchbook that I did a mini review of long ago in March. I'm using my Neocolor crayons here. Some of them are water soluble, some of them are not. You'll see shortly after I add some water. I wanted to work small because I wanted it to be extremely doable. I did not have a lot of time today. Our kids are here. They're a lot right now, as I'm sure that they're thinking that me and Paul are also a lot right now. And I wanted to make sure I got a video done. And I wanted to accurately reflect where I am today, because I'm sure, again, I'm not alone. Using a color shaper, this is also a tool. If you do not have a color shaper and you like to make abstract art, please go buy one. They're amazing because they're super duper easy to clean. You wipe it off with a wipe, with a wet paper towel, whatever you want to do. But you wipe, you can even let it just dry and then peel it off if you're using acrylic paint. It's so easy. It's my number one favorite reason why I like them so much. Easier than a palette knife. I still have paint on palette knives that I haven't dealt with getting off, but the paint comes off the silicone so nicely. I mentioned earlier about setting the bar super low. That's really important when I'm feeling overwhelmed. If I make something that's a several part project, if it requires more than one place to sit, if it requires days of time drying in between, it's not something that is going to feel achievable, and it's not going to lessen my feelings of overwhelm. This did not lessen my feelings of overwhelm either when I used white paint instead of what I thought was going to be gloss medium. I was like, that looks very opaque. That's why it's handy to have wipes or wet paper towels nearby. I grabbed my smallest box of collage scraps because, again, collage scraps don't necessarily make things less overwhelming. If you're like me and you look like Edward Scissorhands was here at the end of your collage session with paper everywhere. But after my desk was clear, that 12 minutes, I was able to comprehend bringing out my collage scraps. But again, I kept it limited. Limiting your supplies is helpful. Limiting your color scheme. Putting limits, it's not to make it less fun. It's to lessen the decisions that you have to make that are preventing you from acting. So if I don't have to think about the materials I'm using, if I have everything I need is going to be in this box, I'm not going to go to a different box. I'm not going to open up my magazine pile. I either take collage from this box or I don't do collage for this project. Easy peasy. Same thing with my crayons. I did have the paint handy because it's in a little cart next to my desk. No big deal there. I wanted to use things that were easy to get to, easy to clean up. The crayons are always easy to clean up. Although these have been dropped so many times now that they're all in several pieces. And I'm using a different color scheme than I typically do also. This is very neutral for me. The oranges in there almost look like they're browns. I did use some yellow ochre in the crayons. But I think this also spoke to how I was feeling overwhelmed because it's not bright in your face rainbow colors. I still have black and white. I love a good contrast. But everything else is pretty calm and tame. I wanted to make sure that this was not going to be a high pressure situation for myself. Again, I'm looking for chill. I'm not looking to add pressure. And I did have to remind myself of that a couple times. I feel like it's good if you feel yourself getting really wound up and upset or overly focused on whatever art you're making. Maybe just take a step back and remind yourself that it's not an emergency. It sounds super extreme for people who have not felt that way before, but sometimes if you have anxiety or you're going through a lot personally or professionally, it can feel like making the right decision on a painting is life or death. And again, not saying that it's not important, because I know that my art's very important to me and I want to do a good job and I want it to look nice at the end, all of those things. So it is important, and it's paint. We are not disarming a bomb. We are not making sweeping changes to laws across our countries. We are using paint. We are creating new things, which is fun and exciting. Worst case, maybe it's, we're trying to get ready for something. We don't have enough art and we're trying to make art quickly. Okay. Maybe stressful, but still the likelihood of someone getting hurt or dying as a result of us not finishing art is very low. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Remind yourself repeatedly this is not an emergency. And make something teeny tiny small. Just because you can, and it will remind yourself that you can, and then you'll be ready for more. So how are you doing today? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not overwhelmed, 10 being so overwhelmed, let me know what you are. What number are you? I think after cleaning my desk, I feel like I'm probably like a 4. So it was a big improvement. Take care, everybody.